Hello, hello, all my Facebook fams. That's Victoria Whitfield here from naturalintuition.com. And this is day 2 of my 45 Live. Thanks to you, Wanda Tarini. Sharing insights and just dropping love and getting to know each other better. So by the way, if you are watching this on the live, put hashtag live so I know to love up on you and so I can see you. And if you are watching this on the replay, put hashtag replay so I know to love you up there too. Facebook is a two-way conversation. That's why I love this platform. It's amazing. And so it's Friday, TGIF. Super happy about it. And by the way, I love really enjoying being casual all day on Fridays. And so I'm in my warm, fuzzy hoodie. Thanks, Russell Brunson. I don't know how many of these hoodies and shirts and koozies and bags and gosh, and the watch and all the when you're a part of the ClickFunnels fam, they just keep sending you gifts. And the books, oh my gosh. Thanks, Russ. And Brent and Sarah and Vince and Nico and everybody. Oh my gosh. Thank you for your all of your love and support for the years. It's amazing. But I want to begin with celebrations because that's something that I do throughout the day in my life and business to keep me grounded. So what am I celebrating? What am I grateful for? Well, for one, I am celebrating that it's Friday. I have half days on Fridays. So I work for the first half of the day and then I'm free as a bird. So celebrating that. In an ideal world, and the ideal world is coming pretty fast, I'm probably going to make every day a half day so that I only work in the morning and then I can just for the rest of the day. So super grateful for that. What else am I celebrating? Went for a really great massage. I didn't really feel like I was in my body in New Jersey until my weekly massage today. So celebrating that and receiving weekly massages. Also celebrating a COVID negative test after traveling in Florida. So for those of you who were wondering, having seen the video that I shared of that experience down there, it's oh my god, are you gonna die, Victoria? The answer is no. By the way, if you're watching live, put hashtag live so I know to love you up. If you're watching on the replay, put hashtag replay so I know to love you up that way. Otherwise, I don't know who's journeying with me. Oh, there goes Zaina. Hey, Zaina. Hey, goddess. Good to see you again. Right? Oh my gosh, we had an amazing clubhouse. So celebrating that as well, coming fresh off of Clubhouse just now. That was such a lovely roundtable discussion. I'm also celebrating an amazing, fabulous meeting with my integrator, my transitional integrator. I love you, Jennifer. Big kissing everything. All of the big hugs and kisses, amazing. Right? Just supporting me and being able to serve all the people who not only I work with, but also, hey, Steve, how's it going, brother? Oh my gosh, it's been a while since we've talked. Hey, good to see you, brother. So celebrating being with her, she's helping me to serve more people as well as serve and support the people who are serving and supporting me. And it's amazing to feel more organized because someone's got my back in my business. It's amazing. So good. So good. Good to hear you're doing good, Steve. Yeah. And so what else am I celebrating from today? I'm celebrating that I got to drive down the highway with the windows open, blasting my heavy metal. I love listening to Fear Factory, Slipknot, Machine Head. You would be surprised. And that was actually the type of music that I listened to going to my massage appointment and coming from, just rocking out in the car. Yay, so happy. Metal is very calming for me. Maybe I got dropped on my head as a kid, but I'm sure I did. Yeah, so celebrating that. Yeah, I want to get into now the celebrating, especially the conversation that we just had on Clubhouse. By the way, if you are on Clubhouse, follow me at Sensei Whitfield. I would love to connect with you and be in rooms with you and talk. Yes. Oh, yay, Steve! Right on. Metalheads Unite. Beautiful. Right? So celebrating that. I find celebrating to be so grounding. Like, um, I remember being taught this when I used to work at a nonprofit called Interweave for like personal, spiritual, and social development. And I was the center coordinator there, and Asha was teaching about Asha Bernard. If you know her, she's amazing. She's teaching about taking in the good is like a practice, like a way to practice resilience and mental health, right, and emotional stability is taking in the good. And one of the ways that I take in the good is by just going down and creating lists of what am I celebrating. And so sharing that with you. And in Clubhouse, I came into the Clubhouse room. We host every week at 5 to 6:30 p.m. Eastern. I call it the braingasm of the day. It's about having a magical money mindset, and as well as discussing wealth and ethics around building wealth as a conscious entrepreneur. And it's so fun to have those conversations with you, Zaina, and Brianna, and Andrew, right? And Ruthie and Shane joined us today, by the way, which is super awesome to have that conversation. But when I arrived in the room, I shared how, okay, I was in Target, right? Because it's Friday, and I want to look at stuff at Target. I just want to smell their candles. It's a thing for me. By the way, Georgie, my nephew, understands that he and I have an understanding that we just like looking at things in Target. It's just, it's so nice. And I love smelling their candles. So anyway, as I was smelling candles in Target, because it's Friday, I took a picture of this, and I'll share it in the comments below. I don't know if I can do that while I'm live. Can I share a picture while I'm live? Facebook. Can I share a picture while I'm live? Okay, I can comment. But when I comment, I can't share a picture. Anyway, I'll post it afterward. But I took a selfie in front of, you know how they have like positive sayings that look cute in like a nice font or frame or whatever that you could put on your wall. And one of them said, work hard and be nice to people. And I took a picture in front of that, like a selfie. I had my mask on though, but you know how I look now. I look like I'm going to rob the store, and I'm okay with that. I'm sure it's probably like whenever I'm up in there I end up taking a bunch of stuff, but I pay for it, so it's not robbing. But anyway, like I don't really believe that statement. Like, it's not something that I would want to put on my wall, so I took a selfie in front of it just like to remember and have the insight. And there was another one that was like really good. I also took a picture of it. I wasn't in it. My hand was. I'll post both of them underneath this afterward. But by the way, if you're watching, put hashtag live. If you're watching live, put hashtag replay if you're on the replay, so I know to love you up. And I know who's journeying with me on this 45 days going live. But work hard and be nice to people. I do believe in being nice to people, but I don't believe in working hard as a value anymore. And what do I mean by that? I want to have a conversation with you. Like, what do you think about working hard? Like, for me personally, when I think about working hard, I am reminded of the fact that I never got to meet my maternal grandfather because He dropped dead at work at 51 years old. At 52, he would have retired. And when he died at 51 years old, dropping dead at work of a massive heart attack because he wanted to be the best. He was very competitive, an incredible, charismatic man, talented, very successful, right? Just left a legacy of love with his 3 daughters that he left orphaned, unfortunately, and they were young enough to be susceptible to predatory surviving members of the family who wanted to take their fortunes. So when I think about working hard, I think about how I, as a grandchild, never got to meet this amazing, beautiful, brilliant man because he worked himself to death. That's what I associate with working hard. Sure, I'm all for being nice to people, but working hard, like how do I didn't always think this way. I used to think that that was how I could base my value as a good person, was that I'm a hard worker. And let me tell you, I worked hard, right? I even worked myself into the hospital, right? Literally, I worked so hard that I got injured at work because I was more committed to doing the task myself than asking for help and working smarter instead of harder. No, asking for help means I'm weak, means I'm not in control of the situation, means I'm not being effective. If I'm asking for help, I'm also wasting time. I'm interrupting somebody else in the middle of their workday. So that's what it means to ask for help. No, if I need help, that just means I need to work harder. And so, yeah, that landed me in the hospital with a concussion, right, and contusions in my hands and all kinds. So I'll tell you that story another day. But yeah, that's what I associate with working hard. And I'm curious, right? If you're watching, put #live. If you're watching live, so I know to love you up. Or if you're watching on the replay, put #replay, so I know to love you up. But what do you associate with working hard? Because my parents also are both hard workers, and I have distinct memories of driving each of them separately to the ER because they've worked themselves so hard at work or worked their emotions so hard worrying about money to the point of increasing their blood pressure past the normal limit to them passing out or, losing consciousness or feeling really dizzy and all those types of stuff. So they've worked hard into the hospital as well. Like, that's what I associate with working hard. Okay, Steve, you're saying if you work hard, things get done. But if you're not taking time to love yourself, so this way you're not dying inside, right? Taking time to care for yourself, to remember that you matter. Let me put it on me. That was like non-existent. I'm not important unless I'm doing something. My level of value was that I'm only as good as how much I can get done for other people, especially. Like, I'm only as good as the workload that I'm able to put out. That's my significance, not me just like, loving myself or something. No. I really think one of my top love languages is acts of service, like how to express care for others, but especially, at least my professional love languages, definitely acts of service. So like giving support, helping others, like I'm always orienting to helping others. But what it would be in the past, before I started doing the work on myself, like Steve, you are so eloquently bringing up, brother, is that in the past, I never really made it on to my to-do list. because I take myself for granted. I take my health for granted. And that is actually the same thing that killed my maternal grandfather, put both of my parents in the hospital multiple times for crazy high blood pressure, and also put me in the hospital for working past a physical limit that I had multiple opportunities to ask for help with. I was just too trying to be in control of everything. I was not open to asking for help. And so I worked hard right into the hospital. But that, like, I could even justify that, okay, well, I'm going to the hospital, but, I did my best. As if my health doesn't matter, which in turn means I don't matter to me. So in the clubhouse room, like, I brought that that phrase of work hard and be nice to people to the room, and we got into this really interesting conversation around like what it's like being in relationship with others around money, as well as working hard versus being authentic at work. And so as I was thinking about like what I wanted to share on today's 45 Live. By the way, if you're watching live, put #live so I know to love you up and I know who's journeying with me. If you're watching on the replay, put #replay so I know to love you up if you're journeying with me on the replay. So what I wanted to do is continue our conversation from yesterday about the 5 Reiki principles and applying them to your business. Right? Because yesterday I talked about, I introduced those 5 Reiki principles to you. And by the way, if you missed that, they are, just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will be honest. Just for today, I will be kind. And just for today, I will be grateful. So these are just like principles to live by in general, which are awesome. But I like applying them to my work, right? To my professional life as well. And it's really helped me to achieve a lot more balance in that. Hey, Georgie. Hey, I love you. Oh my goodness. My nephew, the bestest person on the planet. So, and I was just saying, Georgie, I was at Target, which is our favorite place on earth. And yes, I smelled candles. And yes, I looked at golden office supplies because I'm consistent. Yay! Oh my gosh. But with the 5 Reiki principles and applying them to, wait a minute. Let me see. Steve, I just saw what you came up there. Yay, I love you too, Georgie. Steve, it says, remember, I'm a volunteer firefighter EMT and work at Amazon, and I remind myself to make sure I get the love that I personify to others, so give yourself the love. Right on, Steve. Right on, brother. It's so powerful to affirm that inwardly as we radiate that out to others, right? It's so powerful because so you and me are, I guess, cut from a similar, like, surface-oriented cloth where we want to help other people. And I know what's helped me is to have that, just like you're saying, as a mantra of, like, I remember that. Well, for me, my mantra is, what matters most is how I feel. I matter. I would just keep that go over and over again. To love myself up rather than just working myself back into the hospital over and over again. But there's one of the Reiki principles that I wanted to bring up for business today in particular on this topic is, just for today, I will be honest. Just for today, I will be honest. So that out of the 5 Reiki principles, that's the one that I would apply in this situation of working hard and being nice to people versus working honestly and being nice to people. Because if I was to be honest with myself, like that day that I worked myself into the hospital, like the moment of truth would be, I can't do this by myself. I can't. If I do this by myself, I will get hurt. Versus working hard because that's the standard of my valuation as a person at work, right? So if I were to ask myself, if just for today I will work honestly, it's not only am I going to not BS my way through like some emails and reports or whatever, or BS the assignment, like if you're in school, like you are, George, I wouldn't do things half-assed. I would do it whole-ass, but not only for others, but also for myself, right? I would include the authentic feelings that I have. I would include my truth as a worthy human being, right? A mind, body, and a spirit here in this workplace. I would include that truth in the decisions that I'm making during the workday. And this is another thing. Like when I talk to professional people about meditation, they're like, oh yeah, that's I do that in the morning. Or I do that at night before bed. When I ask them, like, well, what about at work? And they're like, no, it's not appropriate. That's for something that's like it's for entertainment, it's elective, it's a luxury, it's not a necessity. This is something that you do on your own leisure time, is meditating. For me, meditation is like a way to check back in and connect to my power to be a more grounded person. So I do like little meditations throughout the day, not just at the beginning of the day, because I'm trying to work honestly. Sometimes when I pause for a meditation in the middle of my workday, not just at the beginning, not just at the end, but throughout, so we're going to say the middle. When I pause for a minute, I'll realize that honestly, I'm tired. Or honestly, I am not the best at doing this thing right now. Or honestly, I need to reach out to so-and-so and clean up this conversation. It's something that's hanging over me. And what helps about working honestly is that the level of stress and tension that I hold in my body and mind overall goes down because I'm addressing it, I'm present to it, rather than just pushing it back, just like how my parents and my grandfather did, and how that affected their blood pressure, or how it killed my maternal grandfather, right? So this working honestly is what I would say to answer to that little sign at Target that says work hard and be nice to people. There's no work honestly and be nice to people is what I believe, but I'm curious what comes up for you hearing all this. Like, have you ever had the experience of working hard because you think that makes you a good person and that backfiring on you? Because I have. Like, I just wanted to share today, in today's 45 Live, about my own story. And by the way, this is the reason why I do what I do in my business, right? The only reason why I'm trying to help, purpose-driven entrepreneurs to have a stress-free workplace is so that they can be around to meet their grandkids, right? Rather than another grandchild having the same story as me, as being like, I never got to meet them because they died at work. They just worked themselves into the hospital and died, right? Or dropped dead at work. How many people, like, by the way, have you ever lost a loved one, or have you ever heard in your family of like, oh, so-and-so dropped dead at work? I cannot tell you how many people I've met, by the way, who've had this very same, like, experience of, oh yeah, no, my uncle dropped dead, a massive heart attack at work. Oh yeah, so-and-so dropped dead at work. As if dropping dead at work is a thing? I think that's so crazy. So I want to know, like, what's your story? And even if you don't have anyone to drop dead at work, if you ever gotten sick, like work yourself sick, where you stayed up way too late to pulling an all nighter, or you went to the after work party and drank way too much, or they brought the free pizza, and you're like, well, it's free, so I'm gonna eat it, and then your intestines are like, gluten? Are you kidding me? And dairy. That's a good one. Watch what we're gonna do now. Splash! So, I mean, like, what has work ever affected your health? I want to know. Tell me. Like, this isn't, again, this is not TV. This is not Netflix, right? This is a two-way conversation. This is Facebook, and that's why I love going here on Facebook. And I want us to all journey together around these topics. So I'm curious to hear what's been your story. Like, have you ever had the experience of working yourself sick? I have. Many times. That was just one example. Me working myself into the hospital, that's a joke. So for me, like, why I do what I do in my business, helping purpose-driven entrepreneurs to create a stress-free business, is it's based off of my own experience, as well as what I've seen in my family, as well as what I've seen in many incredible, loving, brilliant, visionary entrepreneurs. They'll make the purpose of helping others more important than themselves. And it sucks because, well, isn't that useful for the bad guys that all of the good guys work themselves to death? Isn't that great? That's very useful. Ugh, gross. Yuck. Yeah, so I think this is where I'm going to end today's 45 Live. Thank you for those of you. By the way, if you're watching, put hashtag live. If you're watching live, put hashtag replay. If you're watching on the replay, so I know to love you up and get to know who's journeying with me. I'm always curious. I'm sending you all so much love. Happy Friday. Thank you for being with me and allowing me to think out loud in your general direction. And thank you, Steve and my dear George, and Zaina for joining me in the live, right? Who weighed in there. Thank you so much. Steve, what'd you say, brother? I'm not worried about the food part, just I know I'll be the old man who will be at the fire call and die after making a rescue or hauling a hose, but I'll love what I'm doing, right? So, it's this thing that, yes, you'll love what you're doing, and dying for your work. Brother, I don't know. I feel like there's more for us. And I don't know, because if I'm to die for something, it would be to die for others. Totally. Yeah. Like, that's like a worthy call, like, right there with you. I feel like there's more for us than dying at work. Yeah. Oh, I'm so grateful for you, Steve. Thanks for being that extra set of ears. And thanks, everyone, for tuning in live and journeying with me. It's better together. Absolutely better together. Time if I watch on live, put hashtag live so I know who's with me on this journey. If you're watching on the replay, put hashtag replay so I know who's with me on the journey. I'm gonna love you up either way. Thank you, thank you, thank you all so much love. So I'm gonna go eat and call it a night. And big hugs, lots of love all the way around. Lots of hugs and love all the way around. And I can't wait to hear more. What's your insights around this topic? I'm not some guru, I'm just doing what I can, and doing my best. But I'm curious to hear what your stories are and what comes up for you hearing all this. So big love. And I'm going to sign off this live the same way that I do every time on the podcast. on the Journeypreneur podcast, and that is this: please remember to enjoy the journey. Do not lose your glow as you grow in life and business. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.